whenever I think of structured finance, I think you're solving the need of those clients that you have who might see a property in which they're interested, right? But that property would need rehabilitation, right? And your team can come to the table and help with that.
Right.
It may be a little more complicated than people think because sometimes in terms of the way the loan is structured, you got to take into account the future potential of that building or the future earnings.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that.
No, great point. So one of the products we have is a bridge product.
Yep.
And specifically what a bridge product is for an acquisition renovation opportunity on the multifamily side is you'll have an investor that's looking at a property. There's an opportunity where there's rents that are lower than market, and the investor is going to go in, purchase the property, maybe move some tenants out, do some renovations, do some capital renovations, and they're going to raise the rents to the market level. And there's a clear situation where we'll see where the rents are in point A and where they're going to go in point B. So we'll lend on the as-is basis, but we'll also lend to the future value, the as-stabilized value. And so that's where we accelerate in that program, because we're able to get to the client that sees a vision. We're able to help them deliver that vision and the product so they can be able to execute on the business plan.
Ed, do you think that most people who are in those circumstances, they see a building they're interested in, they realize they're going to have to do some work, they see the future potential. When they go to most banks, would most banks participate with them in helping to see that future potential and take all that into account in structuring the loan? Is that typical or not typical?
It's not typical for a regional bank like ourselves. A lot of times lenders either do multifamily or they do commercial within the product space of income property. But to do the entire one-stop shop idea of lending, where you have the bridge program, you have the ground-up construction, and then you also have the income property banking side as well, that's not really seen in the market. And that's why we're able to provide additional value to our client, because we can actually answer those questions. Or even there's a situation where the borrower is just coming in for a regular loan, and they don't know that we have this program available where we can help them deliver on that business plan and help them get in the front stage of acquiring the property and be the winning bid and be able to create value and deliver that product.
But you guys wouldn't know that if you focused only on the transaction and weren't talking with the client about what their plans are and where they want to go, right?
Absolutely.
And so I know when you and I have talked about that before, that whole idea of being a one-stop shop is really important, right?
Very important.
What about the speed of close?
So that's very important to me. You know, since day one when I first came to Opus, I knew for us to be able to have a good reputation in the market and to win business, it was all about that closing time period. I worked at a number of lenders where you know, it's difficult to close. There's a lot of red tape. It's hard to get answers from folks internally, and I've felt that internal frustration myself as working in credit and underwriting in my past. And so when I came into Opus, I want to make sure that our process is one of the best in the market, because as a new bank, you know, people always ask, you know, who's Opus?
Right.
Why should I go with Opus if you're the same rate as the next guy across the street? And so that's why I really tried to deliver more of a service and make sure our process was the best in the market, because it was our reputation that was on the line.